We're now we're live.
Now we're live.
Now we're live. Did I take off my glasses quickly enough? Does it make me look younger? Did I when I throw my reading glasses across the room?
This is going to be a tough round of audits if neither of us can see.
I think it's funny. I think it's funny. Hello and welcome to Copy Audits with Comedians. That's what you get when you watch Copy Audits with Comedians. I'm Beth Sherman. This is Leanna Patch. I'm a TV writer and comedian. And I've got a company called Authentically Funny Speeches where I ghostwrite funny speeches for people. And Leanna is a hardcore conversion copywriting genius. What number are you for funny copywriter on Google?
If you search on Google, number 1.
See? She knows what she's talking about. And what we do every month, the second Monday of every month, we've done it 4 or 5 times now, is we invite you to send in your copy, your website copy, your email copy, direct marketing, whatever it is that you've got, send it to us and we will crack wise. And between the two of us, try to come up with ways that you can make it funnier and more engaging. And the reason I add more engaging is because sometimes not everything needs to be funny. Sometimes it's diminishing returns. Sometimes it just needs to be a little more interesting or a little more user-friendly.
As devastating as it is to admit. Yeah, not funny all the time. Fine.
Yeah, but you got to finish building the house before you decorate it. So sometimes we're looking at the user experience as well, but we want to make it a pleasant user experience. We've got a lot of great submissions. We got a ton of submissions for this one.
Yeah.
So we're going to try to keep all of the audits to about 5 minutes each so that we can get through as many as we can. First of all, let's see here. Can I get to comments? If you're here and you're watching, say hi. Say hi to us in the chat. Tell us where you are. I'm in London. You may have heard about it. There was a big thing happening here over the weekend.
What was that?
Yeah, Chuck had a thing. Where in the world are you?
I am in Austin.
Austin. All right. Well, so
you may have also heard about it. We have a terrible state governor.
Yes. Well, I mean, we've got a king. You're getting closer and closer. So I see howdy from Fort Worth from Wendy. Hi, Wendy. Nice to have you here. In case people didn't believe me. Nice to see you. And the way we do this is we do love when people participate in this. So anyone at all is going to look at these websites. I mean, these are public, but so much of this copy, whoops, that was me again.
Wendy's still here. She's in the Fort Worth, Dallas area.
Still up there.
Yes,
an update. Yeah. But we do love when people participate in the chat. We like to make this almost a writer's room so that if you have an idea, even if you don't have a complete idea, if you have a thought, put it in the chat. Let us know what you think, and let's all together try to make all of these projects better.
Yeah. I personally will volunteer many incomplete thoughts. So, no pressure. If it's not like a fully formed animal, just pop it right out there.
Well, it's a team sport. It's hard to do comedy in a bubble. It's hard to do it in a vacuum. And that's why so many people are sending stuff to us, because they go, I don't know, is this funny? I mean, as a comedy writer, that's what I send stuff to peers all the time going, is this anything? Is this funny? I don't know. I can't tell. The cat didn't laugh, but I don't know if that means anything. So, Emily, tuning in from Northern Virginia. Hello. We've got more people coming in.
Yeah.
Are we, are you excited, Leanna?
I'm pumped. I'm thrilled. I love being mean about other people's copy. And I say being mean, but we're actually not that mean. We're very constructive, I think. And we do, you mentioned this, but we do sort of take the is this working from the messaging standpoint approach first? And then where will humor work to make this more effective from a conversion standpoint? So it's not just let's make this funny for the hell of it, or the heck of it, if you're under 13.
How dare you? Yeah, it's form over function. So does it work first, and then how can we make it,
Yeah,
more entertaining?
yeah.
So, without, further ado, do you have the next one teed up, or the first one rather, teed up?
Ado. Get it? Okay.
It's there? Yep.
The kind of quality you can expect in this moment. Okay, cool. So this is a landing page. I will go ahead and share. And this was actually a submission that we had left over from last time because we're so cool and popular that we have multiple submissions. We're going to try to spend only 5 minutes. So going back up to the top, this is a landing page for the Empowered Self-Care Lab. And the ask was to tell this person what's wrong with this page, if anything, and what can we do to make it more effective for cold traffic. So just like briefly breezing through it. My first question is, do we know what it is?
Well, we are cold traffic. We are
Right.
all cold traffic.
Yeah. Here's the first noun that tells us what this might be. And it's pretty far down. So
we've got the problem at the top. Are you ready to
stop dragging through your days exhausted and drained with a foggy and fatigued body?
I'm ready.
I'm ready, yeah.
Okay, let's see how we do it.
We have this video, but one thing that I sometimes mention on landing pages with a video, especially something that looks like a video sales letter, which is kind of what this page is, when you have a long video and you turn that copy into the page copy, it's worth putting a little note that says, click to play the video, or like, click to see what, do the thing, press the play button, especially when we don't have like a big play button superimposed.
That makes sense. I would say, I mean, just, the question was, for a cold audience, does this make sense? I mean, this line here, if your health is limiting your joy, your energy, your relationships, your life, there is a solution. That to me seems maybe more of a headline.
Yeah.
I mean, is your health limiting your life? Something is your health limiting your enjoyment of your life? I guess your health probably isn't limiting your life. It's limiting your enjoyment of your life.
Yeah. I'm guessing that if they're sending cold traffic to the page, it's probably, the ads are probably something around like health problems. So if we have like a message match between the ads and the page, it's probably like, are you exhausted and drained all the time? Do you not have the energy to enjoy your life? Like you were saying, and then we get to this page. So yeah, we might be able to just sort of cut that or like move this piece up to answer the question quickly.
Or stop dragging through life. I mean, stop dragging.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you ready to is a classic question, I think. And it can be dangerous if the answer is no. If there's any chance that the answer is no, or if the answer is yes, but it seems like too much work, that's basically still a no.
I could drag a little longer.
Yeah. I don't know. Do I want to read this whole page? That also seems like it will drain me. That's not fair. Yeah. Okay. But here we have the offer finally. Empowered Self-Care Lab, a clinically based system to transform you into fit, focused, and fully charged for life. I don't like transform you into and then a bunch of adjectives. I feel like transform me into a noun is where I don't know why I'm obsessed with nouns today. I'm like looking for nouns. But it feels a little awkward, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Do you have more feedback before I just keep talking?
Well, no, I mean, this is one where it does feel like it needs a little more work on form before, but it does feel like the beginning of it, that the initial headline could maybe use some humor, or could maybe, there must be something like,
yeah,
wake up. I mean, just something very simple, maybe up at the top, something that's
ready to stop waking up feeling like you got hit by a dump truck.
Yeah. Yes. I love that. I love any version of that. Did you question, do you feel like you got hit by a train? did you not get hit by a train?
Yeah. Keep reading.
Yeah. You feel
Are
like you got hit by a yeah, exactly. Even if you didn't get hit
Are
by
you
a
so drained and exhausted that you'll be completely out of energy by the time you finish reading this headline?
yeah. Is this headline exhausting? But yeah, to be also sort of self-aware because it's if you can poke some fun at it's almost the website poking fun at itself. It's a
Yeah.
form of self-awareness. It's this headline is long. You must be exhausted.
Yeah.
Even something like that, because self-awareness is always a way to bring people in and to sort of and meet them at their level.
Yes, and you're bringing up a really good point, which is that
I am?
effective copy, yes, you are. Here it
Yeah.
comes. If I can
Yes.
hold on to it for one more second, which is very unlikely. Effective copy makes people anxious, right? Anxious enough to provoke them to take action. But the risk is that you just make them feel so bad that they get paralyzed. And so when we bring in a little bit of humor to like meet them where they are, validate what they're feeling, and defuse just enough of that anxiety that they're like, okay, I feel like I can do this. I can take the next step. I feel like that's what bringing more humor into this hero section would do.
Well, and especially in this case, when meeting them where they are is exhausted. Meet
Right.
them where they are is they're in a bad place already. So it's
Yeah.
also yeah, it's a way to commiserate without
Yeah.
making it harder.
We have reached 6 minutes, actually. I want to point out one more thing before we move on, and maybe you do too. Two things. I lied. The first thing is that even though we only got this far, I feel like your health is very broad. And if it's going to be like gut health related or nervous system regulation related, like how can we be more specific about the type of health, which will definitely help conversion on the click through. And then the other thing that I noticed as we sort of took a sneak peek through, there is no social proof on this page. There is no one on the page saying, I did this. It's great. It works. Which is going to be probably the single biggest conversion lift you have if you're testing, because there's nothing here that's like, I'm not alone. I won't be the only person investing, a pretty hefty amount in this self-care lab. Did you have anything?
Yeah, that's an excellent point. No, I mean, in the interest of time and to keep going with everybody, I'm just going to second what you say. But social proof. And also maybe there's a funny way or an engaging way to get into that social proof, because if you're running this thing, you probably have it, but it's, don't take my word for it, take theirs. These people feel better. These people feel, look at all the energy they have to write testimonials.
Right.
Maybe not that specifically, but if you can give them a setup that again is self-aware and that's you're not making light of the problem, but you're feeling their pain.
Yeah, it's commiseration.
Yeah.
And also, if you have a testimonial, like those are great places to mine for the specificity of humor, right? Like if somebody in their testimonial was like, I was waking up feeling like I got hit by a dump truck. Well, then there's your headline, You sometimes don't even have to write it yourself if people write it for you.
Well, and it's even better because it gets the comedy across and you don't look like you're there in the clown shoes kind of standing there. So you to go like, well, I wouldn't be that broad in my comedy, but this person did. So you get to have that distance. So you kind of get to have your cake and eat it too.
Right. Yeah. It's a hardworking testimonial after all that. Okay, cool. We did it. We got to move on.
All right. Ding.
Ding. We'll close that. And I think the next one we have is a product page, which is cool.
And anyone who's watching, by the way, if you're watching and you're finding this useful or entertaining, or you just don't know what to do with your mouse while you're watching, hit the like button. It does help us. It helps it go out to more people who are interested in this kind of stuff. So please support the stream and hit the like button. It's the least you can do. If you want more information on either of us or what we do or how to book our services or anything like that, tons of stuff in the description. I think we're sending this out to about 700 different pieces of technology. I think Leanna's got it on Twitter and LinkedIn and all that sort of stuff. So, but here on YouTube, in the description is where you've got all the links, everything you could ever possibly want. If you want to find us, yeah.
If you want more, don't tell us. We're drained, exhausted, foggy, and fatigued.
And I was going to say, if it makes you tired, you know where to go. Yeah.
Just feel your gut.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. Ready?
Yes, ready. So this is nativemaps.us. I left the little email sign up pop-up up because I have thoughts about that too, and we'll never see it again if we X out of it. So it's just basically an offer, 10% off. Sign up and get 10% off plus free shipping over $100. Your email, get 10% off. Cool. I feel like it could be working a little harder, right? It's clear, it's simple, but maybe we can bring some personality into it. Just a thought. It's not going to come to me right now.
What's what? So the subject is maps. So in trying to find humor for anything, a good way to do it is just to kind of brainstorm. So you've got maps. So I would sit, if it were me, I would sit and open up a document and just try to think, okay, maps. What are the things that people free associate with maps? Lines, drawings, GPS, where do you go? Direction. Lacking direction.
Yeah. Discount directions coming to your inbox, or send discount directions right to your inbox.
Yeah, I know, guys, I know you hate to, I mean, this is hacky, but guys, I know you hate to ask for directions, but yeah, that's a bad place to go. They're not all good. It's a process, people.
Yeah. We're doing the live messy stuff. Anyway, maybe we'll come up with something more map puns after we look at the page. So I'll get rid of that.
Yeah. And by the way, we have at least one like from Wendy. Wendy is with effort.
She's like, yes, you calling me out in public.
Twist my arm.
Yeah. Okay. So this is a Shopify product page. We're meant to give feedback on the whole page. So again, we will try to keep it to 5 minutes. It's rough out here. One thing that I will point out from the potential conversion optimization perspective is that we could bring a little piece of a review, something here, up into this headline, especially because it's not very descriptive. It's just like Atlanta, a map of Atlanta. There's probably room for a little snippet of something that's like, I was shocked by the quality of the frame and how fast the shipping was, or whatever it is. So we have some of that social proof immediately. Apparently today I'm just obsessed with social proof. And
Leanna's very suspicious. She needs social proof.
I do not believe anything is real unless I see many other people trying.
Inside that bun, there's a tinfoil hat.
They think that every time I go through TSA, they like put me through the whole detector thing, and then they reach out and like go honk honk and just squeeze my bun. It is so humiliating. Like, what do you think is in there? Drugs? Anyway.
They don't think anything's in there. They just have the opportunity to do it. Yoink, yoink.
Oh, speaking of clowns. Anyway.
I would say that, it says Atlanta, just that's the only title of it, which I get is specific. I mean, and accurate. But for my own pea brain, if I happened on it, map of Atlanta, or what kind of map of Atlanta? What does it distinguish? What is it? How does it break down the city? I actually bought, I don't want to brag, I bought a map last week because I'm starting to do more speaking around the UK and around England. And England is divided up into lots of different counties, and I don't know them. So I get a lot of people telling me, oh no, it's where it is. And I just nod. So I very specifically needed a map that told me what county stuff was. You go, oh no, that's just right. I'm like, so I can see that in this, that there is a lot of detail in that map, and I know it's more for art than for function, but how does it broken down? Oh, this is cool.
I know. I have heard recent feedback not to put a video in the product imagery though, because it may slow down page load or people won't see it. So give it its own section. That's an idea. Obviously this is like a beautiful page and very well put together. And so any feedback that we can give is going to be like suggestions, ideas. But I to go back to what you were saying about the product title. Yeah. Atlanta neighborhood map. And then maybe even parentheses, choose framed or unframed. There's actually
neighborhood. There you go. Yeah, that's as simple as that. It may become it may be best practice to not have that video in there, but just watching it myself there, I think they've done a great job of it, because I would not guess that was the way that was put together.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. I mean, the quality of the videography is really good. We don't necessarily want multiple sizes of videos, especially on mobile, because you see how it resizes the page.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah. Ooh, here's the thing. Materials and shipping are over here. And I get wanting to fill this blank space that always happens in the Shopify product template, but it might get missed. And so if they're tracking clicks on the page, they should make sure that this information is either like getting clicked on or is repeated somewhere else on the page. And I haven't even talked about the copy yet. We haven't even gotten to the copy.
Oh, right. There's copy. There's words. Oh, they're very small words. Hold on. Nana needs to put on her glasses. Okay.
I'll zoom in for Nana.
Put your love of Atlanta on the wall with a handcrafted piece of art, because somewhere there's someone watching on a phone who's just gone blind. Put your love of Atlanta on the wall with a handcrafted piece of art. Our Atlanta neighborhood map. Oh, yeah. So I would just repeat that in the title. Poster is vetted by a team of locals and includes all neighborhoods within the city boundary in our signature minimalist style. Inspired by a love of our hometown, we obsess over the details so you can celebrate the ATL in style.
So we end with style twice, just kind of noticing that.
Yeah. Yeah, so I would flip one of those, I prefer it in the second sentence. So I might with a handcrafted minimalist piece of art, maybe.
Yeah, I don't have like a ton of feedback about the copy, because I think in general it's fine. But one message that's missing is like, you could buy this as a gift. Like probably half of the purchases of the orders on this page are for people who are buying things for someone who lives in Atlanta or loves Atlanta. Like, so let's call that out and help people reading this think, oh, who do I know in Atlanta that I could give this to?
Yeah, that's an excellent point.
I see that we're trying to shoehorn this keyword in there, Atlanta city map. Maybe that's working. Otherwise, I would cut it to screen printed by hand, and then new bullet, heavyweight, art quality, matte paper. Sizes are perfect for easy framing. I don't know what, like, is that because frames come in standard sizes?
Yes.
Okay. You know this.
My wife does this. Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay, great. Okay. So maybe
she does custom ones. So the difference between getting a standard size frame, even a nice one, and a custom frame involves adding zeros at the end of the price. So if you want something custom done, that's great. But if you just want to go, no, I just want it to look good.
Yeah. So maybe we just need the word standard in here, like standard versus custom size. We just say like each print comes in a standard size, easy to frame, or leave it unframed because it also looks great that way.
Yeah, or list you probably do somewhere else, but standard sizes. You may do that earlier, but I would list the specific.
Yeah, they do
sizes again.
Yeah, absolutely repeat it. Yeah. 16 by 20 or 18 by 20.
Yeah, it's only 2, so it wouldn't take up that much real estate to repeat it.
Yeah. So I think that bullet point becomes choose from 2 standard sizes for easy framing, or pick a frame and let us frame it for you.
And it also the materials, like you said, it's a pop-up. I mean, not a pop-up, it's a drop-down or something you have to click on. But that the paper is made with renewable energy in the USA is really interesting. That's under materials, which doesn't immediately show.
Oh yeah.
I mean, all that stuff.
Cool. Ooh, is that elsewhere on the page? Is that called out in its own section? Because we have hand-built frames called out. Framing it yourself, we've got you covered. DIY frame ideas. 5-star reviews.
I mean, I'd be shouting that from the rooftops.
Exactly. Yeah, here it is, but it could get lost. I kind of want to see the mill, right? Like maybe there's room on this page to test a section that's like about our hydroelectric powered mill. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if they're super bored by the time they get to the bottom, they can go to all maps and all frames.
Yeah, I mean, anyone that's not converted to buy this thing, I mean, I have no connection to Atlanta, and I want to buy this.
I know,
I
me
mean,
too, right? I'm about to go look for Louisiana.
already $100 seems low. So well
Yeah,
done on
yeah,
that.
yeah,
We're splitting hairs at this point, but
yeah.
you've asked for feedback, so we're giving you feedback. But
One
there's a
more
lot that you've done right.
Yeah, it's a beautiful page. I do have one more hair to split, and that's sometimes when we have this overlay, and there's nothing like translucent under the text to give it some more like distance from the photo,
Oomph.
the text can get lost. So when we hover, it's perfectly readable, but when we move away from all maps, that kind of gets lost. See that?
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
especially because there's a lot of white because it's beautiful and minimalist.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm just like browsing. So let me see what else is. Oh,
Oh,
Austin.
and
There we are. That's
you just made a sale.
I've spent so much money.
Oh, and Emily, or earlier, she had some wording suggestions. So minimalistic design and aesthetic, minimalist aesthetic. That would be a great way to say it, so that you're not ending on the word minimalist up top. That would be a good way to handle that.
For sure. I stopped sharing, but I agree.
Not good at sharing. That's what I'm sure, childhood report cards. Doesn't share. Leanna doesn't share her custom.
That is accurate.
Well, we have a ton of people, so let's keep moving through. And again, if you're watching this on replay, there's tons of information about us and about these audits that we do. We do them on the second Monday of every month. So feel free, and the link to submit is right in the description. You can also find anything more than you wanted to know about both of us and all of our links and things like that. If you are finding what we do useful, entertaining, not painful, give us a hit like, and consider subscribing, because to this audit, usually I run this on my other channel, which is the Authentically Funny Speeches channel, but I've made now a professional. That one is now geared towards personal speeches, and geared towards professional speeches is the channel that you're on right now. And I could use all the subscribers I can get. So if you really are enjoying this, hit subscribe and you get notified whenever I post anything new.
Yeah. You can even subscribe to me. I mean, I barely post anything, so you won't be bothered with all those pesky notifications, but it would be nice to have you.
Well, you absolutely should subscribe, and you should definitely follow Leanna on Twitter because she is huge there. For as long as Twitter still exists.
Huge in general, yeah, but
basically
speaking. Anyway, here we go.
Yeah.
So this is from Dea, who I love and adore, who runs the Digital Business Manager Bootcamp, DBM Bootcamp, and she sent in this copy and said, I've been trying to fix that above the fold copy for years, and I can't get it right. I need your magic. I want it to be exciting and unique and empowering and all the things. DBMs are the magical second in command who make sure everything gets done behind the scenes. It's a very special role, and I can't do it justice. My students are amazing, organized planners, slightly type A, and this role upskills them into a higher paid job. More women deserve to be in leadership positions, and we're attempting to close the wage gap through this managerial upskilling. So no pressure.
Wow. It's really going to be hard to crap on this one.
Right.
Fortunately, it seems like she's really good at what she does.
Oh,
and
yeah.
The website is a reflection of that.
Oh, yeah. She's so good at what she does that she quit doing it to teach other people to do it, which is incredible.
Yeah.
I miss her every day. She worked for me for 4 hours a week, and that was the best my business ever was.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, very, very good feelings about this whole thing. The thing that I can point out that we're doing right off the bat is calling out the pain. So first sentence, pain, second sentence, promise, and then a low pressure ask, watch the free series. So, but it doesn't seem to bring in that aspirational an empowering vibe that I think she's going for.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the people who are doing this maybe are doing it, so they're doing a different job.
They're probably VAs. They're probably virtual assistants right now, or
Gotcha.
executive assistants. Yeah. And so the shift, I think, that DBM Bootcamp promises, and you would have no way to know this, I only know this because I know her business, but the shift is like, instead of just being a person who is hired to do X and Y, you are a person who is hired to strategize and take charge and do things that expand the opportunity, like that grow the business of the person you're working for. Like, you're not just a hired hand, you're the right hand.
Right.
Hand of the crown, or whatever that is. I don't know.
So is it a matter of having another line, or having the opening line be give yourself a raise, promote yourself to management?
Yeah,
Is
maybe.
it because it's a jump, right? I mean, what she's really
Yeah,
promoting is going kind of from being employee to management, or from take the leap.
yeah. I think it's something like you've got the skills and the smarts to run an incredible business or something like that. But we have to bring in the idea that it's not necessarily their business. It's running the business of their new client or clients. Because they're going to build a DBM business, but we're going to teach them how to run someone else's business, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, is
DBM,
it promote yourself? Is it give yourself a...
I like promote yourself as, like, maybe that's a juxtaposition that needs to be clear. So, like, instead of just promote yourself, like, you deserve more than hourly VA roles or something like that. You're more than just a VA. Promote yourself to the digital business manager role you deserve, parentheses, and get paid $sign.
accordingly. Yeah.
Yeah. With our practical step-by-step training or something like that. And then maybe instead of watch the free series, it becomes I deserve a raise.
Yeah. I mean, move up in the world, move up, move, just gonna date myself with any of these references. Yeah, I love all of that. That makes sense. I'm trying to get from virtual assisted. I'm just trying to do it in a clever way, but maybe it's, oh, here. Well, why are we working so hard? We've got people in the chat offering great ideas. So,
Yeah.
that's real management, taking other people's ideas. So Wendy's pitching promote yourself to indispensable partner. So
I like
from
indispensable. Yeah. Sorry,
make
go on.
yourself indispensable, partner up, or oh, well, so, and then she said, yeah, I don't like the word partner, but something like that. That makes sense.
I think with any version of this stuff, we're going to lose a piece that we love. So, like, having the words digital business manager in the headline is great. If we go more like emotion oriented, we might lose that specificity, or we might lengthen the headline. So I think we have to kind of decide, like, what's the angle we want to go for? And do we want like clarity, or do we want like supercharged emotional aspirational promise?
I mean, it's kind of a toss up, because I don't, I mean, I guess that's a question for, whoever runs this website would have a better sense of the position that the viewer is in. That may be information that we don't have at this particular moment. I mean, digital business manager is very specific, but it seems like the people that are looking at this might require that specificity.
Yeah, I think I mean, I don't know if all of the people who come to the training are VAs. So maybe that's why we don't say like, you're just a VA trading time for money right now. Level yourself up or promote yourself to digital business manager and start making the money you deserve as an indispensable right hand to an incredible woman-owned business. Like, that's a mouthful.
Yeah.
But maybe there are pieces in there that we can use. I do think I am familiar with at least the general position that people are in if they're coming. Like, they're so smart, they're hungry for more, and they're also unhappy with making like $25 an hour maybe as a VA. But they don't have a framework to pitch more and better and more strategic services to their clients. And that's what Day is teaching them, among other stuff. Yeah. This might be something where I'm like, Day, email me. Let's talk offline. You know? But we could pick an angle. We could, and what, maybe, sorry, I'm just not shutting up because that's who I am. But maybe it's just a giant headline instead that you test that's like, you're hot shit and you know it. Give yourself a raise and become a DBM.
Well, you're better than your job. You're better than your, yeah. You're hot shit. You're bigger. Yeah, I keep wandering into walls here.
Yeah. Emily suggests having a mix of clarity and emo, which I assume is emotion. Or we could just comb our hair over one eye and find my wristbands. Yeah, I think that's the ideal, right? Like, obviously, what is it? Who is it for? Why should they care? And we've spent so much longer than we should have because I love this challenge.
Well, we've pointed out the problem, and that's really that's the first step.
Yeah.
Should we scroll down a tiny bit and see if there's anything we can actually do to help lower before we go to the next one?
Sure. I mean, I love this. Look at all these people who've actually graduated from the boot camp. That's so cool. We are former 9-to-5ers. We are stay-at-home moms. We are college students. We are travel lovers.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to top that with a headline.
Yeah, I kind of want a definition of digital business manager right here. Like, digital business manager definition, the indispensable right-hand woman to a range of incredible businesses. Oh, wait, it's right here.
She's got it a little bit lower, but it's not quite as,
Maybe I'm remembering this page from the past, because how did I just decide that I wanted a definition there? Yeah, okay, what is a digital business manager? What does a DBM do? What is a DBM made up of?
Well, but as someone that's coming into it cold, and I don't know that other people would be, I would prefer that was part of the previous section. You know, we are digital business managers, people who A, B, C, D, and E.
Yeah. And also this white is pretty hard to see on this light green.
Yeah, it seems a bit subtle.
Yeah. This is also a little hard to see. Like, on hover, if you're scrolling, this is a much more visible button than without the hover. So could turn all the CTAs back to this dark green.
A little darker. Emily agrees. Overworked and underpaid is a huge pain point. Yeah, no argument there.
Yeah, and I think there's probably also something to be more valued for your strategic ideas instead of just being given a task list to do every day. Like, feel like you have more control over the business that you're helping. That's probably not the way to say it, but that's definitely something these people want.
No, but you have a bigger say in it. And if I was also thinking about it, I would start thinking about, I mean, because clearly the rest of it really delivers. So for that, that first line or for that headline, maybe it's something in what your boss says to you. Maybe it's something in how you feel about yourself.
Yeah.
Like, is there, you know, don't, this is not the right thing, but like, don't follow orders, give orders, which is not right. But like, is there a, you know,
I think I know what it is. I think it's what you want your boss to say to you, or what you want that business owner to say to you. And it's, I don't know how I ever did this without you. Little arrow, want feedback like this, parentheses, and the salary or the hourly take home.
It goes with it. Yeah.
Yeah. The compensation that you deserve, like, do this boot camp.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here's stuff like this, earn money like this. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that.
Woo!
Cool.
Got there in the end.
There. Yeah. Oh,
What?
awesome.
Would you stop sending us such good websites?
I
It
know.
makes it very difficult to make them better.
It's so frustrating. Okay, I'm pulling up our next one.
Okay, and while you do that, a previous client of mine, hi from Richmond, Virginia. Hi, we've got a few people, two people from Virginia. Stephen says, hi from Richmond, Virginia. Thanks so much for all your great advice. My speech was a home run. It's because I followed your advice to the letter.
Nice. That's so awesome.
And congratulate Stephen because he is a father of the bride. I helped Stephen with a father of the bride speech. I've got 1,000 videos on how to write a good father of the bride speech on my other channel. Link in description.
Okay.
Hey, like, throw us a like. If you're watching on replay, also, if you have content that you would like to have us take a crack at to make it more engaging or funnier, you can send this in for next month. We do it every month, the second Monday of every month. There's a link in the description, in the YouTube description, if you want to submit something, and we will get to it next month.
And we did now just change the Google form to accept multiple submissions, which we've learned was not toggled on. So if you've submitted before, you can submit again through the Google.
Yes. Form. Yes. I mean, we keep them all. We don't delete them. But if you go, well, I've updated what I've got. Yeah, feel free.
Yeah. Cool. Our next submission is a LinkedIn profile from a past client of mine, Michaela. I worked on Michaela's website, which is very, very techy. And there's a lot of Lord of the Rings humor throughout the website copy. And so Michaela is asking, how do we add Lord of the Rings humor to my LinkedIn profile while being professional? So we've got the profile pulled up. The first thing I want to say is that we probably don't want it in the headline, as much as that devastates me to say.
Small type here again.
Oh, yeah.
Expert Cold Fusion help for CIOs, CF maintain, modernize. Michaela, you're very, very smart. Modernize, develop, secure, CF, a live podcast, author, speaker, CEO.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where you would fit it there.
Yeah. So we'd have to cut. If we wanted humor in this headline, we'd have to probably cut most of this. And maybe it becomes expert cold fusion help for CIOs, helping or expert cold fusion help, CEO of TerraTech, helping CIOs defeat the orcs of, CF issues. Like, I'm trying to remember what the specific issues with cold fusion are, because I should remember. I worked on the website. But it's basically a system that not a lot of people are expert in anymore, and Michaela and her team are. So in the website copy, we positioned issues with cold fusion as like the villains in Lord of the Rings. So orcs.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
And Lord of the Rings, it's a little indie movie.
Yeah, you've probably never heard of it.
Yeah. So specific. I mean, only from what I've learned, and totally separately, just what I've been learning about LinkedIn is that real estate is at a premium. So as much as it would be tempting to add it to your headline up there or to your description, what's there is pretty damn impressive. And I mean, maybe you have enough work that you can, and enough opportunities that you can drop one of those things out for the benefit of a joke, or not a joke, but something lighter. But I think best practice would be to really keep that section a bit more, to keep the reference out of that, only because there are so many things that you want to promote there. The podcast, what's there is really working.
Yeah. And to my eternal chagrin, LinkedIn is very keyword driven in that headline. So probably need cold fusion, CIO, CF Alive, all of those keywords that people might be searching to find Michaela. But we could still work it into the about section down here.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We provide expert cold fusion help for CIOs. And we could say, instead of these service offerings, we could contextualize those a little bit more by maintaining, modernizing, developing, and securing your Cold Fusion apps.
Yeah, and I might flip the first 2 lines there, because you go from we to I, but I might say, I love solving business problems and creating high quality custom software. So I founded
Yeah.
TerraTech in 1989. And then TerraTech, now that we've heard the name of the company, we provide.
Yeah. And maybe, well, if we flip it, it doesn't work, but I kind of want there to be something like, there's only one thing I love more than J.R.R. Tolkien's seminal Lord of the Rings universe, or whatever it is, solving business problems through high quality custom software.
It's close second.
Yeah, right. A gentle way to introduce the idea that we're going to have references to Lord of the Rings throughout the
Yeah, well, you get the information out there, and then the joke is kind of, it's the afterthought, but it still gets to be there. And it also makes sense if you have flipped it, that would be part of the I, because now we know a little something about you. We know what you love. I love X and Y, and Z is the punchline.
Mhm.
In 1989, I founded TerraTech, and then it's we
Mhm.
from there on in.
Yeah. We believe in bringing issues to light immediately as opposed to burying them. I feel like there's an option here for like the one ring, like holding the one ring aloft. We identify and safeguard the one ring of your business.
Yeah, I'm absolutely useless with this, because I've I wandered out of the first one because I was bored. So
Really?
yeah, we went with a friend, and and her husband and some of his friends. Yeah, and it was like, I got to use the bathroom, and she followed me out, and then chatted for a while in the lobby. We're not good fans.
Somewhere in the world, Peter Jackson sadly closes this live stream.
No, it looked great, but my little tiny brain can't. It couldn't get past that second hour.
That's fair. That's fair. My pin brain immediately just went to like, what wordplay can we do with the character names? And it's like, is your Cold Fusion app security Aragorn with the wind? Let us help. So dumb.
Yeah, I mean, there's no shortage of great references that you could make and parallels that you could make. I'm just unable to help you.
That's fair. I think so. If we zoom out a little bit, though, like I think the goal with bringing that humor in and still staying professional would be pick and choose. Maybe bring in like one reference or one piece of wordplay every other paragraph at the most, and then draft it, have fun drafting it, go back through and be merciless with murdering your darlings.
Yeah, it's sort of it's the equivalent of sort of getting dressed and having everything on, and then what's the style thing that they say? Look in the mirror, and the first thing that kind of take one thing off, remove one thing.
Put on.
Yeah,
is what Coco Chanel is supposed to have said.
Yes, exactly. Take that advice from Coco Chanel, not from Beth Sherman. If I took something off, it would be my shirt, because that's it. There's like a wedding ring and clothing.
Well, the stream is about to get a lot more interesting.
I have good news and bad news. I can't help your copy, but
I can. All right. This is a nightmare.
Must have been about 5. Graduated 8. Yeah, I mean, this is, Michaela, you are, I mean, just wildly intimidating. You're you are not. Your credentials are. Yes. So I think that also does. I mean, I think putting some humor in that, and I think your instinct is absolutely right for the Lord of the Rings. I mean, it's a passion of yours, but I think it does make all of these ridiculously impressive credentials more accessible. I'm all of these things, but I'm also a person, and the sort of cheerful geekiness in the best possible way. I think really, especially to someone who might be hiring you or looking to hire you, or if there's a CIO who has to send you to get you approved by someone who doesn't understand what you do, it's going to make your LinkedIn page a lot more readable and understandable.
Yeah. 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 And also, like, if that person happens to share a love for Lord of the Rings, like, instant in, no stronger connection than that shared fandom.
Yeah. I was going to say it's a smart thing to do, but I mean, Michaela's what, Cambridge? Yeah. No problems with.
Yeah. We don't need to tell her what smart is.
Yeah. Do we have someone that's selling jelly beans or something that I could actually be useful on?
Can you send us some? Because could use a ship.
Well, I'm sure we've hit 5 minutes on that.
We did. And I think we could probably fit in maybe one, definitely one, maybe 2 more. What do you think?
Okay. Yep, absolutely.
Next up, we have.
I love the chat. The chat, I told them to, because we've got someone in the chat who said some kind things to me because they're a previous Father of the Bride client. I helped him with a speech, but I said, oh, we should all, everyone should congratulate him. And people have, which is delightful.
Oh, nice. Oh, womp womp. I did not get access to this. So
who's it? Was this
Autumn Lee?
Okay.
But we can wait till next time. We can start there, Autumn, if you're here. And if it's time sensitive, I'm happy to shoot you some feedback anyway.
Well, actually, is there anyone who's currently in the chat? Speak now, forever hold your peace. If you are here and waiting for us to review something, shout at us in the chat. Wendy is?
I think Wendy is.
Well,
yes, Wendy's email. Let me submit, please. I hear you, Wendy. I hear you cry. Okay, it's a long form email to fundraise and get volunteers for a nonprofit. I found it hard to convey all the points in fewer words. I'd also like to infuse humor around the asking for money part and how boring learning science can be. Okay, let me pull up this email and see if I can share. I will stop sharing here and narrate my incredibly boring journey through the back end of my browser.
Yes, Wendy, I think that was me somehow not giving her access, but you have it directly, right?
Yes, I have the PDF, Wendy, that you emailed me.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the fundraising email for a nonprofit, and I think it's about learning science. Subject line, greetings, ... and an invite to volunteer. Hi, first name, hope this finds you well. And I'll zoom in, Grandma.
Thank you. My seeing eye dog can't read it.
I'm reaching out to let you know about a fun opportunity to volunteer in your community. When you think about kids learning science or math or even language arts, what comes to mind? Boring textbooks or the Peanuts teacher droning on and on? Ooh, here immediately is where I'm thinking when we're describing something, but we have the opportunity to actually reference it, let's just put in like a short clip or a GIF of the teacher going, yep. Right?
Yep. Maybe, or Charlie Brown's teacher. GIF.
Yeah, and then maybe the caption is like, if you can hear this GIF in your head, you might be in a secure financial position to donate. Just kidding. We don't want to do that. Imagine kids holding science in their hands. Instead of sitting still, what if they could funnel their pent-up energy walking through a vegetable garden to measure plant growth? Okay. Another option, and I know I'm sort of digging in on the line level immediately instead of looking at it structurally, but my instant thought is, let's have 3 examples here of different disciplines in this learning science. So instead of sitting still and watching a teacher speak about, photosynthesis, arrow, kids are walking through a garden that they grew themselves, touching plants, feeling the sun on their hands, whatever it is. Like, make it as tactile as possible and then give us 3 of those examples across multiple education disciplines.
I love that. Yeah, and it also feels like there's a step. So if you actually did put in the GIF, or Charlie Brown's teacher GIF, science should be fun, or science is fun, and then detailing. Hopefully you didn't just say that because I was answering someone in the chat, but and then detailing exactly or science is tangible, science is and then giving those examples that you were just reading.
Yeah. And I think we can probably get that promise across in fewer words. So instead of turn outdoor campuses into active learning labs, like connect kids directly with the wonder of science. And you have wonders of STEM right here.
Oh yeah.
Okay. By the time we get to like, especially if we have that GIF in there, by the time we get to the third or fourth paragraph, we might need an ask. And it could be as simple as a link all on its own on one line. That's like, see volunteer opportunities and pick a time here or something like that.
Yeah, it's feeling very reedy.
Mm-hmm.
So just something to break it up, you mean? So something to make it a little more user-friendly, something that jumps out as that doesn't blend into, oh, there's a lot of this stuff to read and I might not get to it right this second.
Yeah. Basically like a shorter line will draw the eye. And if that line is also a link with an interesting promise, it's more likely to get clicked. And we want something sooner up the page because the first ask that we have, I think, is so far down, contribute to the finishing touches. So there's 2 asks here too. You want them to come in person and you want them to donate money. Maybe that ask belongs on the page after the click.
Which one of the 2?
Like, see how you can get involved. And then they go to the page and it's like, got more time than money? Join us on this day. Got more money but still want to be part of this? Give us some money. And obviously like workshop that. Don't just say
well, I mean, yeah, got time? Yeah. Don't have time. I mean, but which seems totally reasonable.
I'm just blazing through this. Sorry. Sorry and thank you. This to me seems like it should be a visual, and it could be like a pie graph where it's like 75%. And then there's that missing slice and a little arrow that's like, can you help us here? Can you chip in the rest of this $40,000? Yeah. And then we have another visual break in all of this, all the long line here. We need more volunteers in the remaining $11,000. We can also do short section headlines in a larger text, larger font throughout. So like what we need from you preceding this, we need more volunteers and 11,000.
Yeah. Helping. So what you're saying is just help people read it.
Mm-hmm. Help them skim.
Help them skim.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
2 comments here. So Wendy says, unfortunately, they didn't have a page for the event, but I hear you.
Okay.
Okay.
Is it just Wendy, since you're here, are we just sending them directly to like a generic donate page? Because that is not going to work as well as a specific fundraising page could.
She'll get back to us when she gets
able. That's a great idea.
Seems like a very cool program.
Yeah.
And Emily weighed in.
Yeah.
Since the email has a lot of info, you could also add a TLDR. Okay, I'm an idiot.
Okay, yeah. So we can't change the donate page to be more specific, which is such a bummer because that's definitely going to hurt end conversions. I love the idea of a TLDR. If we don't have a PS, which I bet we do, if we scroll down, do we have a PS? Yes. The PS we're using for social proof. Outteach was recently featured in the fall issue. Check it out here in the attachment. Okay, so are these emails going out like in a Gmail merge? Because I don't think you can attach things to email list campaigns. Either way, that might hurt deliverability and it might just be too much information. So I kind of think that the PS should be a reiteration of the ask. Remember, there's so many ways you can get involved. If you have the time, we'd love for you to join us. If you have the cash, every dollar helps get us to 11,000.
Yep.
Yeah.
So would your pitch be to not have the fall issue, the feature in this particular email? Would that just be another email? Hey, look, we've done this.
Yes, absolutely. Another reason to email, and it builds trust in the organization. So like, check us out. We were featured here. By the way, it's not too late to contribute.
Right. It's a reason to touch base.
Yeah. Gmail network one-on-one. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. One-on-one, I think you'll get obviously more responses, but you might also test this against a really super short email that's like, hey, I know you're busy. I'm reaching out about this really cool opportunity. The TLDR is, and then you insert the TLDR from this email. Can you chip in a few bucks? Here's the link. Because
Right.
that's going to be so much easier to reply to and parse. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's just putting yourself in the position of someone who, all of us, we get a ton of emails, and sometimes it's not even that you don't want to read all the way through it. It's just, I can't right now. I'll get back to it. And then that get back to it never happens.
What's that they say about good intentions and where they go?
Away.
Away on this PG-13 friendly channel.
Yeah, exactly. So autumn is here.
Yay, autumn.
So
Cool.
shall we squeeze in one more? It's 7:00. We're going about an hour, but
I think we can
she's
do one more.
here.
Yeah, let's do it. I have it pulled up. I have refreshed. And I do want to quickly look at what Autumn asked us to do.
And in the meantime, I will hock everybody, whether you're watching live or you're watching on replay. If you're finding what we do helpful, if it's making you think about what you would do to your own copy, to your own presentations, if it's helping you at all, and how you would approach adding comedy to any situation, give us a like. If you really hate it, hit the like button twice, because that would actually end up being a like. But if you're finding value in this, give us a like, consider subscribing to the channel so you get notified. Go into the description and see all the other stuff that we do. It's got links to all of Leanna's stuff and all of my stuff, but it's got links to our LinkedIn and Twitter and our websites, because we do this stuff for a living. And we would love to help you one-on-one. And if you need a good speaker, actually, we both do that too.
Yeah. As you can tell from our incredibly polished vibe.
That's right.
Which, I mean, Beth is very polished and I'm just here.
We'd actually put on, pants for that.
I am wearing pants today. It's true.
I'm in sweatpants. I got to be honest with you.
You didn't have to tell us, but brutal honesty.
Right. I didn't. I mean, I'm fully dressed. This was like 2 hours of hair and makeup.
Nice. Cool. I think we're sharing Autumn's copy.
We're sharing too much.
We're sharing everything, including our state of pantsfulness.
Oh, Wendy said, thank you. Very, very helpful.
Okay.
Thank you, Wendy. Thank you.
Pleasure, Wendy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
thank you for doing what you do. Also,
he loves my new website.
Getting those kids interested in science. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to be in that science class. And thank you for your compliment on my new website. It took so long. Okay, so Autumn has told us some context. Autumn is writing copy for a psychology-centric brand designer / brand strategist. Her target audience are female entrepreneurs aged 27 to 38 who make around 100 to 300K in their business per year.
Wow.
Good for them, yeah.
Yeah.
These women generally own product-based businesses in the beauty and fashion niche. Her target audience currently struggles with DIY branding and a lack of knowledge around what makes good eye-catching and converting designs. They're ready to invest in professional brand design. Her unique selling point is that unlike typical graphic designers who solely focus on making things pretty, she does a deep dive into their target audience to find out what truly converts and attracts, and uses that to craft branding that their target audience connects and falls in love with. How can I best optimize this copy for conversions? Am I going in the right direction? It was difficult for me to find VOC data, which is kind of ironic considering that this target client's business is built around voice of customer data, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if there's a way for Autumn to access that. But putting that aside, don't lose another sale to your competitors over incohesive branding. Refine your brand and become impossible to ignore. Be the unrivaled option in a saturated market with powerfully distinct branding that captures attention, forms emotional bonds, and converts prospects into loyal repeat customers. This is so much work. This sentence is doing so much heavy lifting.
Well, I might jump up to the top. So incohesive branding, is it just vague branding?
Yeah.
Is there incohesive? It's to my eye. I mean, it may be accurate, but to my eye as I'm scanning, it's not a word my eye is used to seeing.
Mm-hmm. And what does it mean? Like, what does incohesive branding look like? Is it more along the lines of do you feel like your branding is scattershot, piecemeal, half-baked, uh, mocked up in Canva and built in a WYSIWYG website builder?
There's nothing wrong with that. Um,
Did I
yeah, or well,
there?
unprofessional branding, amateur branding,
Yeah.
cobbled together DIY.
Mhm. And maybe a question here is more the vibe, instead of "don't lose another sale," which is making a lot of assumptions,
Yeah,
both
are
sales
you
and
losing sales?
yeah. Are you losing sales and interest because of your DIY, confusing, other adjective here that speaks to their pain, uh, visual branding?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not in the same space, but as someone who's sort of juggling a lot of things, but are you losing sales? I can identify with this. So are you losing sales because of your DIY branding? Is your DIY a PIA? Is that
Ah, I
pain in
like
the ass? Or is there some, um, your DIA SOL? I don't know. That might be too specific, but is there a play
that.
on words?
Is
Shit
your
out of luck? No?
branding a snafu? Wendy suggests the adjective disjointed, which I like.
That's good. Yeah.
One thing that we can also bring in to really agitate this pain is like, hey, maybe you're not only losing sales, but this is actually stalling the trajectory of your business,
Hmm.
because the people who really, really would gel with you cannot tell. They can't find you. And when they do find you, they can't tell that you're right for them because of your visual branding. And then I kind of want to see a section about like top 3 common problems I see in,
Hmm.
your industry or this kind of brand. Um,
And
or
that
it
will
could,
be to position her as, I know this so well.
yes, I've
Yeah.
seen all the problems. Branding that looks amateurish, cluttered all over the place, not seamless and professional. Yeah. Um,
Wendy had a comment, is she had a pitch for, is doing it yourself doing you in? That's, yeah,
it's,
same spirit of it.
yeah.
Uh, oh, I see. Yeah. So Autumn said, yeah, I guess I was trying to say branding that looks amateurish, cluttered all over the place, not seamless
Mhm.
and professional in a way. So it loses trust in the potential customers. Yeah. The problem makes absolute sense.
Mhm.
You clearly know who you're talking to.
Mhm. Maybe the question is, has your business outgrown your branding? And I hate the word level up, or the phrase level up, but maybe it's time to level up or something. Uh,
Yeah, and I wonder if, like Lord of the Rings, I don't have the references, but you, Autumn, you were so specific in who your avatar was,
mhm.
who's reading this site. You know who your customers are, and if it's, I think it was beauty and wellness space, something like that. But is there wording? Is there a parallel that you can make with them? Is there language? Like, is there a joke or something that would be the equivalent? Is there something like that you might be able to capitalize on for humor?
Oh, I think that is the exact direction to go in. The humor and the like agitation combination, and it's maybe like, uh, don't just settle for a Squarespace template with cutesy handwriting font and like pastel blocks. If you feel like you've seen this website a million times, it's because you
Yeah.
have. Your business is better. Your brand deserves better, something like that.
Yeah, you're better than, and I can't remember what it's called, but like you're better than the Benton template.
Mhm, mhm.
The more specific you go, because you really are dialed in to who your person is, age-wise and everything else, and
Yeah,
income-wise. Oh,
yeah.
I don't know which idea you mean, but I hope it was mine.
We'll take it. Yeah, we'll take all of it. Um, and then, because we haven't really talked about bringing in this person's UVP, which is that they do research,
What does that
um,
mean?
unique value proposition?
Thank you.
Yes, no problem. Uh, that should probably be somewhere high up the page too, right? And it could be as simple as a sub headline that's like, unlike other brand designers who slap a pastel palette and a fancy font on your existing messaging, I do the work to get to know your clients and create a visual universe that appeals to them.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. Choosing a font is not is not research. Yeah.
Right, right, right. Yeah, cool. Well, I think we just reached 10 after the hour. We've tried so hard to be.
That's right. We've got sports and weather coming up at the break. We've got
Welcome. It's raining.
well, this was great. I had a ton of fun. Thank you for everyone, to everyone in the chat. Wendy, Autumn, Stephen, oh, that's
Emily.
me, Emily,
That's you.
Beth, yeah, Leanna. This was great. We do this every month. We do it the second Monday of every month. If you want to submit your own copy, just go to the description and there's a link to the form where you can submit it. And we do pretty much get to everyone eventually. Sometimes it goes on to the next month. Now, if you're watching it on replay, or when you watch it on replay, because this will just live here, it doesn't go away, I'm going to put in the time code for each project that we've covered. So if you think you might have been covered, all you have to do is just come and look in the description from week to week, or come back and look each month and see what we've covered. And if it's something that maybe speaks to you in particular, because it's website copy or it's email copy or their SMS, something like that.
Yeah.
So, but give us a like, subscribe to us. We've got like 75 channels between us.
They're all down there.
They're all down there.
They're
all down there. But yeah, stay in touch. We love doing these. And Wendy says keep them coming. And
thanks, Wendy.
I'm afraid to go against her. I've seen what she can do in an email. So we're gonna stay and keep doing it every month. All right. You good?
I'm great, and you're great.
We're all great. All right. Good night, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.